All right, LS is in, turbo kit's made. I've been trying to think long and hard about what turbo to go with. I wanted to keep it as budget as I could, so that limited a lot of choices. So I was thinking, do I just get a GT45? Those are pretty proven. Do I just get another 7875 from eBay like I had on the RX-7 and what I'm using for mock-up right now? But I think we figured out the best solution for this car and what I'm trying to do with it. Because this isn't a drag race car. This is just a fun cruise around town, do something kind of different type of car. So like I said, I was considering a few different ones. There was get another eBay 7875, which I don't know, or get a GT45 because those are pretty cheap. But when I was looking at GT45s, I ended up finding one that I think will be dang near perfect for this setup. Let me show you because it just showed up a couple days ago. And FedEx was not kind to it, so I'm really hoping that it's still in good shape. Side note, do you guys know how hard it is to have parts like this show up and not open them right away so that I can open them on camera for you guys and do that whole unboxing BS? It's very difficult, let me tell you. There's one more box over there that I've been putting off opening up. Oh, that sucks sometimes. So this turbo is a T76 and it is from Max Speeding Rods. I'll have the link in the description below, and also they offered a discount code. Use code Snyder for 5% off, which is pretty sweet. I didn't expect them to do that. But yeah, they reached out and wanted to work together, so I told them what I was thinking, and they were super into it. And we got this thing. So when I first told them about the car, they were like, yeah, we got a pretty sweet GT45 that a lot of people like that we can send you. And I was like, the GT45 is a good turbo. It's just physically so big for the turbo that it is that I was just hoping to avoid it. So I was looking through some of the other stuff they had, and I found this T76. I want to say the GT45 is like 30 or 35 pounds. It's a big boy. And this thing, if I can find it, the shipping weight is 22 pounds. So it is much lighter. It should be able to support all the power that thing will ever need. Yeah, it looks like everything's fine. So yeah, I think for the budget, this is going to be a very good turbo. This was 240 bucks. Traditional T4 flange. It's a 3-inch V-band out the back. And I believe this is a 2.5-inch outlet. Yeah, 2.5. Back when I had my Chrysler Conquest, before I even started YouTube, it had a T72 on it, I believe. It was a good turbo. I don't want to say surprisingly good, but it's surprisingly tight. I like that. That's what he said. I didn't expect it to come with a fitting. That's nice. So theoretically, that should be the right size, and I don't have to get a restrictor or anything for it. Hopefully. I might try to put like a 12AN drain on it just to make sure that the oil flows through as quickly as it possibly can. Because when you get like oil built up to where it blows past seals, that's so annoying. But this should be the right size, I'd imagine. So let's get it thrown on the car. We'll pull that old one off. See, this is what I like about this. This is a light turbo. All right, out with the old and in with the new. I can see right away that I forgot to reclock the housing, but that's fine. I can do that with it bolted up. But yeah, weight was a big consideration for me just because this thing is hanging off the exhaust and it is so far back that I didn't want a big heavy turbo. So this, I think, was a pretty good choice, all things considered. I do need to reclock it though. Alright, I had to find my mallet to tap it to break the compressor housing free, but we got it rotated to roughly where it might want to be. But got it in there, everything's looking good. I do still want to make a brace to support everything, but I think we're looking pretty good. So now I need to start ordering all the parts for this car, which is something I've been putting off for basically the whole build so far. I think at this point I've only got a few $100 into the car. Hard to believe, I know. Oh, actually, no. With the exhaust was about, the headers were about 100. The exhaust piping was like 180, so there's 280. We'll call it 300. The motor was 250. Yeah, I've got like $600 or $700 into it so far. So yeah, now comes the fun part of buying all the stuff. So I've got to get the oil pan, which he said those should be done getting made by Moroso in the next couple weeks. I need to get the Holley Terminator X. I need to order the flywheel and flex plate. No, I need to order the flywheel and clutch, which I did talk to Spec, and they do have, the flywheel will be like 430, and the clutch, I talked to them and explained them everything about the car, and they said that the stage 3 should be totally fine, and for something more drivable, they said that's probably the way to go, the stage 3 or the stage 3 plus. The stage 5, which is rated for a lot more power, they said it can be kind of chattery when you're just trying to take off. And I was like, I don't want that. This thing's not gonna get like really beat on a ton. So yeah, the flywheel will be 430. The clutch is 340. Clutch and pressure plate. I need to get with Jerry at Mazier and get the water manifold and the water pump ordered, because they've got a new water manifold out that Jerry was like, dude, this thing's gonna be sweet, you should get it. And I was like, yeah, you talked me into it. And then we're going to be running a remote water pump right here off the radiator so that it pushes water to the motor. Sorry, Mr. Antenna. So that it pushes the water, coolant, to the motor, and then it does its thing back there and then sends it back up here. So those are the big ticket items, because I'm going to be reusing the Snake Eater 850s that came out of the RX-7. Also, code Snydertron for 10% off your order at Snake Eater. I want to use this intake, but I'm having a hard time talking myself into using this intake just because I know that it kills so much power. I bet the difference between this one and that one is probably 75 horsepower. Just because this inlet is so small. Like, this is, I don't remember, like 54 millimeters, and then it cuts it down even smaller for this stupid oil pressure sensor. So I'm having a real hard time talking myself into using that, but that's the one that I want to use because it kills power. But the drag racer in me is having a real hard time accepting that power difference, because I could just lop that oil pressure sensor off and put it down at the block and then run this intake, and I pick up at least 70 horsepower. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so the big ticket items, oil pan, the cooling system stuff from Mazier, the Holley, because like I thought about running this on factory ECU. Like at this point, I'm so familiar with the Holley stuff that I don't think I've even touched HP tuners really since I had Goldie Hawn. So trying to relearn a lot of that stuff, which I don't think it'd be too bad. This is a fairly simple thing. And then I need to redo all the brakes. I think for now I'm just going to get stainless steel brake hoses and get new pads, rotors, calipers for all of them. Fuel system, I'm just going to use the stock tank and put like a Walbro 450 in it, and that Corvette style fuel pressure regulator filter thing. So yeah, like I said, there's only a few real big ticket items and then just a ton of nickel and dime stuff. That's where it's really going to add up, surprisingly, is all the nickel and dime stuff. So yeah, I've got to, I got to get all that ordered. So if you guys want any merch to help out with this, go check out the Teespring store. Link is in the description below. But yeah, again, big shout out to Max Speeding Rods for the turbo. I think it's going to work out perfect. This one's actually rated on their website for 800 horsepower, which is way more than this thing's ever going to need, ever. I think if we get like 500 horsepower with the crank, we're winning. Because I think if we treat this thing right, it could last a long, long time. So yeah, again, huge shout out to Max Speeding Rods. I'll have the link for this turbo in the description below. 5% off using code Snyder. Go check them out. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and clicking that bell. We'll see you next time.